Most people walk around thinking that learning any random martial art will make them dangerous. They think picking up a few YouTube tutorials, copying some flashy moves, or joining the nearest dojo is enough to be effective in a fight. But here's the reality you've probably never been told. The best fighting style is not the one with the most moves, the deadliest reputation, or the fanciest belts. It's the one that is designed for your body, your natural strengths, and your unique limitations. The world of martial arts is like a giant buffet. You've got boxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, Taekwondo, Krav Maga, and everyone is shouting that their style is the ultimate. But here's the trap most people swallow that marketing without thinking. They try to mold themselves into a style that doesn't fit them. Imagine forcing a tall, lanky guy to fight like a short, stocky wrestler, or teaching a flexible gymnast to fight like a heavy, power-based brawler. It's not just inefficient, it's setting them up to fail. And that's exactly what happens to 90% of fighters. Whether they're beginners or even experienced practitioners, they waste months, sometimes years, trying to master techniques that their body will never perform optimally, because those moves were never designed for them in the first place. This is why some people train forever but still get manhandled in real fights. It's not a lack of effort, it's a mismatch between their body and their chosen style. The secret that elite fighters understand is this: you don't adapt yourself to the style, you adapt the style to yourself. Your height, your reach, your flexibility, your weight distribution, your explosive power or lack of it, these are not weaknesses to hide. They are your blueprint for combat. And if you ignore that blueprint, you're basically fighting against yourself before your opponent even throws the first punch. Let's break this down. If you're tall with long arms, your natural advantage is keeping distance and striking before your opponent can close in. Styles like boxing, kickboxing, or certain ranges of Muay Thai make you a nightmare to approach. If you're short but built like a tank, your power is in closing the distance fast, locking your opponent down, and dominating with throws, wrestling, or close-range striking. If you're light and fast, you're not meant to trade blows toe-to-toe. You're built to hit, disappear, and exhaust your opponent before finishing them. But here's where most people make the fatal mistake. They ignore their advantages and try to cover their weaknesses first. The result? They become average at everything and exceptional at nothing. A tall fighter wastes time learning spinning low sweeps meant for short fighters. A short fighter spends years trying to master fancy high kicks meant for tall fighters. In the end, both of them become easy targets for someone who's mastered the skill that suits their body like a custom weapon. This is why finding the best fighting skill for your body is not just a tip, it's a survival principle. In a real fight, you don't have time to test out random moves. You need to default instantly to techniques that your body can execute with speed, precision, and power under pressure. You need movements that feel as natural as walking, so that even under adrenaline, fear, or exhaustion, you still move with deadly efficiency. Think about it. When a lion hunts, it doesn't try to fight like a cheetah. When an eagle attacks, it doesn't try to act like a wolf. They know exactly what they are, and they maximize those strengths without apology. You must do the same. By the time we're done here, you won't just pick a fighting skill. You'll know the exact combat style that your body was born to use. And once you master it, you'll feel something strange happen in every fight or sparring match. You'll notice that moves feel easier, your attacks land harder, and your defenses become instinctive. You'll stop fighting against your own body, and you'll start fighting with it. That's when you become truly dangerous. So before you waste another day drilling moves that were never meant for you, stick with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to make you see fighting in a way you never have before. And once you do, there's no going back. 1. The tall and long-limbed fighter, the spear. If you're tall, with long arms and legs, your biggest asset is distance. You are the spear in the fight. You control space. Most tall fighters waste this advantage by letting shorter opponents get too close. That's like holding a spear but choosing to fight with your fists instead. Your best fighting skill is striking-based styles that maximize reach, boxing with a strong jab, kickboxing with front kicks, and certain ranges of Muay Thai. The goal is simple. You hit them before they can touch you. A well-timed jab from a tall fighter can completely shut down an aggressive opponent. The front push kick, known as the teep in Muay Thai, becomes your most people miss. A tall fighter should never fight to prove toughness by brawling inside. That's suicide. You're not built to take hits at close range. You're built to avoid them altogether. Your mindset should be surgical. Precise strikes, minimal risk. A tall fighter with the discipline to maintain distance is almost unbeatable against someone of equal skill. 2. The short, stocky, and powerful fighter, the sledgehammer. If you're short with a low center of gravity and thick, powerful muscles, you are the sledgehammer. You're not here to poke from a distance, you're here to smash through defenses and overwhelm your opponent in close quarters. Your best fighting skills are wrestling, judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and close-range striking like dirty boxing or clinch work in Muay Thai. Why? Because your body is built to dominate in the pocket. You can generate explosive power in short bursts, you can stay balanced when pushing or pulling, and your compact frame makes it harder for people to grab or trip you. Here's where the brainwashing kicks in. Most short fighters waste their time trying to kick high or fight tall. That's like using a sledgehammer to pick a lock. Your mentality should be to close the gap like a bullet, crash into your opponent, and keep them trapped in your range until they crumble. In a real fight, it's not pretty, it's relentless. 3. The lean and agile fighter, the ghost. If you're slim, lightweight, and naturally quick, you are the ghost. You're not here to stand toe-to-toe and trade blows. You're here to disappear right before your opponent hits you, then reappear where they least expect. Your best fighting skills are footwork-heavy striking arts like taekwondo, fencing-inspired boxing, or even evasive Muay Thai styles, combined with counterattacks. The whole point is to frustrate your opponent into making mistakes while you conserve energy. The dangerous trap? Lean fighters often think speed alone wins fights, but speed without timing is just wasted motion. Your greatest weapon is not just moving fast, it's knowing when not to move. Think like a chess player. Draw your opponent in, make them think they've got you, then hit them when they're most vulnerable. When mastered, this style makes you untouchable, because every attack they throw becomes a trap for them, not you. 4. The heavyweight tank, the fortress. If you're big, naturally heavy, and can generate raw power without much effort, you are the fortress. You're not here to dart around or throw 50 light punches, you're here to crush everything in your path. Your best fighting skills are power-based, striking like boxing with heavy hooks, close-range brawling, and grappling styles that allow you to use your weight to smother your opponent. Think wrestling top control or judo pins. But here's the catch, being big can make you slow if you train wrong. The key isn't to try to move like a lightweight, that's a fantasy. Instead, you train to cut off the ring, corner your opponent, and make every shot count. When you land, you don't need to land again right away. They'll feel that first shot for the rest of the fight. Psychologically, you must make your presence oppressive. Your opponent should feel your weight before you even touch them, because once you're on them, escape becomes almost impossible. 5. The balanced and athletic fighter, the hybrid. Some people aren't extremely tall, short, heavy, or light. They're right in the middle. Congratulations, you can be anything, but that's also your curse. Without a clear strength, you might waste years trying to master everything and end up average at all. The best fighting skill for you is a hybrid approach. You take the most efficient techniques from multiple styles and mold them into one personal arsenal. You might box at range, wrestle in close, and throw occasional kicks to keep your opponent guessing. The danger here is falling into jack of all trades, master of none territory. Your mindset must be different. Instead of being kinda good at many things, you become very good at a few key transitions. For example, being excellent at going from boxing to takedowns, or from kicks to clinch work. The hybrid fighter is like a switchblade. You may not be the heaviest, tallest, or fastest, but you're unpredictable and can change strategies mid-fight, which is a nightmare for opponents. The mindset that makes any body deadly. No matter your body type, here's the ultimate manipulation. Your fighting skill is only as effective as the mind that wields it. Physical advantages mean nothing if your training is random, your discipline is weak, and your fight IQ is low. Elite fighters don't just train their bodies, they obsess over the mental game. They understand range, timing, psychology, and pressure. They know how to make their opponent feel like they're losing before the first strike lands. And once you combine your natural body advantages with psychological dominance, you stop being someone who knows a martial art and become a predator who was built for this. So, now you know there's no single best fighting style. There's only the one that fits your body like it was built for you. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. If you had to fight tomorrow, no rules, no refs, no safety, would your current skill set save you or betray you? Most people think they know the answer, but under pressure, their body does what feels natural, not what they've been training. And if those two don't match, you've already lost. I'm curious actually, I'm testing you, drop it in the comments. What's your body type? And which fighting skill do you think is truly yours? Be honest, because if you get it wrong here, imagine what happens in real life. And here's my warning, 99% of people are training against their strengths. They're wasting time trying to be someone else, and when the real fight comes, they freeze. Don't be one of them. So, tell me below, are you the spear, the sledgehammer, the ghost, the fortress, or the hybrid? And if you don't know, you've already found your first weakness.